I was pouring coffee at my tiny cafe counter when the text arrived at 9:43 a.m. My sister Lily's name glowed on the screen. "Dad's signing the papers now. The bakery is officially mine." My heart sank like overproofed dough. For 20 years, we had kneaded side by side at Sweetstone Sweets, the family bakery on Maple Street. Last month, Dad announced he would hand the keys to Lily, his firstborn, his star. I, Skylar Moore, the younger by 3 years, swallowed the bitter taste, wiped my hands, and replied, "Congrats! You'll do great." But inside, I wondered if I would ever walk through that kitchen again without feeling like a leftover. Dad had always said the oldest inherits the name. I was the one who colored outside cookie lines. I left for college, studied marketing, then returned with ideas, online orders, delivery apps, late-night dessert bars. Dad smiled but patted my shoulder. "Let Lily steady the ship." So I opened my own micro-cafe across town, serving espresso and day-old croissants while our family legacy rose on Lily's side of the street. 2 weeks after the text, Lily invited me for dinner. I expected gloating. Instead, I found her pale, receipts scattered like snow. "We're bleeding," she whispered. "Sales down 40%, rent overdue, suppliers demanding cash." Dad didn't know. She pushed a spreadsheet across the table. Red ink everywhere, my stomach twisted. I loved that bakery more than my pride. "What do you need?" I asked. She looked up, eyes shining. "Your crazy ideas." That night I couldn't sleep. Memories flooded. Dad teaching us to braid challah, Lily licking honey off her wrist, me piping smiley faces on eclairs. I opened my laptop and typed a rescue plan, pop-up collabs, social media blitz, midnight cookie deliveries to dorms. I sent it at 3 a.m. Lily replied instantly, "Let's do it." Monday, 8 a.m., we stood in the Sweetstone kitchen side by side for the first time in years. Flour dusted the air like old friends. I snapped photos of Lily kneading, posted them with the hashtag #SweetstoneComeback. By lunch, we had 300 likes. By dinner, 1,000. Hope rose like yeast. Tuesday, I launched an online poll, choose our next flavor. Peanut butter miso won. I filmed Lily mixing, uploaded the clip, tagged local foodies. Orders pinged like raindrops. We stayed until midnight, baking, laughing, burning nothing. Wednesday, the bank called. Overdraft. Lily's voice cracked. I asked for 1 week. They gave us 3 days. I smiled, heart racing. "Then we sell 1,000 cookies in 72 hours. She blinked. "You're insane." I tied my apron. Insane sells. Thursday, I parked a borrowed food truck outside the university. Bright lights, Galaxy decals, free samples. Students queued around the block. I live-streamed the madness. Tips flooded in. We sold 400 cookies before noon. Friday, I woke to a message from Channel 7. "Come on morning news, show the comeback." I shook Lily awake. We loaded trays into my Honda, hearts hammering. On live TV, I piped frosting while Lily explained our crisis. The anchor bit into a cookie, eyes widened. "These are incredible." Phones rang off the hook. By 2 p.m., our online store crashed from traffic. I upgraded the server in the stockroom, fingers flying. Orders hit 800. We baked until dawn, Dad none the wiser. He thought we were trying harder. Truth, we were trying smarter. Saturday, 9:43 a.m., exactly 1 week after Lily's text, we unlocked the bakery door to a line stretching around the corner. Cash register sang. By noon, we hit 1,000 cookies. Lily hugged me, flour in her hair. "We did it," I hugged back. "Almost." That afternoon, I drove to the bank with a shoebox of cash and a printed spreadsheet. The manager blinked at the numbers, then at me. "You turned this around in 7 days." I smiled. "Family recipe." She stamped paid on our loan. I exhaled for the first time in a month. We walked home, exhausted, elated. Dad met us on the porch, arms crossed. "Why are you two so tired?" Lily and I exchanged grins. "Surprise," we said in unison. Sunday, we led Dad into the bakery. Counters gleamed, cases full, new uniforms hanging. I showed him the online dashboard, sales tripled. His eyes welled. "You saved us." I shook my head. "We saved us." He hugged us both, pride dripping like glaze. Monday, I returned to my cafe, but something felt different. I realized I didn't want 2 kitchens. I wanted one big family. I locked my cafe door at sunset and posted a note. Gone to bake galaxies with my sister. I merged my brand into Sweetstone. We painted a galaxy mural on the back wall, installed espresso machines, and stayed open until midnight. Sales doubled again. Dad watched us, eyes shining, whispering, "My girls." 1 month later, a food magazine featured us on the cover. The bakery that rose from crumbs. I framed the article next to our first cash register receipt. Lily tattooed a tiny rolling pin on her wrist. I got a matching one. Ink never forgets. Tax season came. We actually owed the government money for making too much. We laughed while signing checks. Debt-free tastes like vanilla bean and victory. Dad pulled us aside one spring evening. "I want to retire, but this time I want both names on the deed." He slid 2 envelopes across the table. Partnership papers, equal shares. My eyes filled. Lily squeezed my hand. "Welcome home, Sky." We hosted a community block party. Free cookies, live music, a photo booth with galaxy props. Kids posed, parents cried. I stood on a makeshift stage and said, "We almost lost this place. You saved it by showing up." Applause thundered. A teenage girl approached, shy. "I want to open a cupcake stand, but my family says it's silly." I handed her a piping bag. "Silly built this building." She smiled wider than frosting. We launched baking classes every Saturday. We teach parents, kids, even grandpas how to braid dough. The first class filled in 10 minutes. We call it Need Confidence. 1 year after the crisis, we hit our first million in revenue. Dad cried at the ledger. Lily and I high-fived with flowery hands. The bakery that almost died now fed 3 counties. I stood in the kitchen at 3 a.m., piping stars onto a dark chocolate galaxy cake. I thought about that scary text, the long line, the news lights. Every swirl felt like proof. You can rise again, sweeter than before. So here's the truth about family business. It's not about who gets the keys first. It's about who refuses to let the doors close. Dad gave my sister the bakery. She gave me a call for help. I gave back everything I had. Today, when someone asks what I do, I say, "I bake hope and I get paid in sprinkles."